Good morning, everybody. Scott Woods, Transportation Training Group. We're going to make a little video today just for dispatchers and trucks. Now, the reason I say dispatchers and trucks is because this freight is dealing with Amazon. You know who they are. They're the monster in the woods, but they got a lot of freight. Now, brokers, you can make money with some Amazon freight, but quite frankly, they just don't deal with everybody. All right. But the rates are pretty tight, so it's real hard to hedge a commission out of some of this freight. But if you're a dispatcher and a direct carrier, this could get you out of some jams. Now, everybody who's ever dispatched a truck or drove a truck can tell you the horrors of getting stranded and not finding a load for 2 or 3 days. Now, Amazon is a good partner to have to get you out of those situations. I am not saying you're going to live and die on this freight. If you're relying on Amazon to make your fortune in the freight community, it's not going to happen. What this freight is good for is to get your carriers out of places to a better place. And it's consistent because they have these Amazon location facilities all across America. This freight is good for dry van. This freight is good for sprinters and hotshots, as long as it is enclosed. You don't see Amazon running a lot of open top freight. All right, Amazon is now established its own brokerage. So what you want to do, if you're a dispatcher or if you're a carrier with your own operating authority, you don't have to lease onto them. You know, basically they're essentially running a trip lease and brokering the freight to you. But I'm at the Amazon Freight Center where you get set up. It's called the Amazon Relay. And I will post this link in the comments of this video to get set up if you're interested. Once again, this is not for brokers, it's for freight dispatchers, where you can get direct freight for your carriers and you don't have to suck it up and take that garbage off load boards. And it's also for a direct carrier that's wanting to move from one place to another, just so he's not sitting around. You know, you can still make money with it, but you're not going to be buying a house in Tahiti. We'll put it that way. It's a real simple setup process, guys. Up here in the right corner, get started. Basically, you get started, it's going to tell you what you need to get set up with Amazon. And it's a lot like getting set up with the broker carriers and dispatchers. You got to have an active DOT number with interstate authority and a valid MC. Well, if you don't have that, you're not going to make any damn money anyway. A carrier entity type that is authorized for property for hire. That's a standard authority, guys. FMCSA rating of satisfactory, none, or not rated. If you have none or not rated, it's just because half the time they don't update their websites with the FMCSA, but they want at least a satisfactory rating. Anything else, you're not going to get the freight. Then your standard insurances, which is your general liability, your auto liability, your standard cargo, okay? Workman's compensation. Now, workman's compensation doesn't apply in every case. A lot of the times you can sign a waiver if you're a direct owner-operator and you won't have to carry that. You'll just have to discuss them with your particular situation. And also employer liability of not less than $100,000 per occurrence. Now, all of these insurances that you see here can actually be attained by getting what's called an all-risk broad policy with your carrier. And when I say carrier, I mean insurance carrier. Guys, Amazon will get you where you need to be because they've got 1 or 2 distribution centers per state. And I want to give you, for those of you who know a little bit about freight, who's ever taken freight to Hunts Point? Are you a carrier or maybe a dispatcher that's ever sent a truck up to Hunts Point in New York, or maybe Jessup, Maryland, to the Chelsea markets in Boston? You're taking reefer freight from California and Texas and Washington in there. But then what happens? You don't have any freight coming out. Your guys are starving. The wheels ain't turning. They're not earning. All right? Look, if you ever do that, and I'm going to use a reefer when I'm talking about this, turn that reefer into a dry van. He might bring broccoli in from Santa Maria, California, but then he might take all those dry goods packages out. That way he's not running the reefer, it's running cheap, and he finds a load back into Ohio to a distribution facility there, or Kentucky. And what you're doing is you're pushing that truck from a dead zone to a red zone, where it's going to help, okay? From the dead zone to the red zone. You get set up with Amazon. It's really simple to do. You can keep these carriers running and keep you from starving to death half the time. Guys, thank you for viewing this video. Once again, this is just for freight dispatchers and carriers. If you need any help, if you really want to learn how to move freight as a broker or a carrier, I cover all these in my courses. I'm the #1 trainer in the country. I have been for over 20 years. I myself have moved over $50 million in freight as a broker, and I can't even put a number on it as a trucking company owner. Please visit our website at www.freightbrokertrainer.com. That's www.freightbrokertrainer.com. If you have any questions, give us a call. My son Christian is always monitoring the phones. He runs the day-to-day. He can help you out. He can help you get in a program that will get you profitable. Looking forward to a great 2021. I know everybody's griping about 2020, but I've made a lot of money this year. Freight's been moving. You just have to know where it's at. Guys, have a great day, and we'll see you on the road.